That podium sucks.
Yes, this podium in fact sucks.
It's on a slope, there's no action.
That's similar to me. I'm going to make podiums for sign for speaking up. When those kind of persons like you, they have laptops.
Yeah, I have an awesome shitty MacBook. I have So the stage is tiny and I am not, so I apologize in advance if we'll be straight here. Well, last guy just walking in at the end. Alright. So we're going to talk about some zombies. This is not like computer zombies, so if you're here for that, I apologize, I'm going to blow your fucking mind, because this is a totally non-tech talk. I swear a lot, so if you have a problem with that, you also want to get the fuck out. And yes, there's a 9-year-old in the front row. That's mine. So I'm okay with her hearing this language. It's not new to her. Alright. So this is me. I talk at a lot of conferences. You know who I am. Well, not. Fuck you. I do computer shit my day job. I teach computer shit my night job. So I don't like explaining all that stuff to the stupid people, so I sound like fix computers. It works. And they don't care, and I don't care. Alright, so I do computer shit today and at night, security, right? Kind of like backing. So I see myself. Really more like this kind of backing. I'll be totally honest. There's me. That's okay. I'm okay with it. Right? I tried the Jared diet, it just didn't work. Right? Fuck it. And I'm not a doctor, so I'm going to do some technical, like, scientific shit. If I get it wrong, I'm going to bust my balls, it's fine, but fuck you. Right? It's good times. I love guns and zombies. I like a lot. You can't tell, we're all talking about zombies. And which kind of led me to this thing, which I run in Michigan. And it's in October next year, we just had it a couple weeks ago. Which is where I kind of came up with this, because we have this shoot and destroy event. We go out and shoot lots of guns at exploding zombies after the conference. It's a good time. Check it out. Alright, so we're talking about zombies. And we're talking some massive breakdowns in society, which are real risks, right? These can and do happen in our world. Right? Back to the news. Right? Natural disasters, economic failures, Obamacare, whatever the fuck. Foreign invasion, right? The totally merciless, I can't stand this foreign invasion. Terrible high school videos, and yes, possibly a zombie apocalypse. Now, there are a lot of zombies, but for our purposes, we're going to lump these into anything meets this criteria, right? Typically, they have disheveled appearance. They're unresponsive to communication. They have pale, decomposed, and damaged skin. There it is. Welcome to the shit show, by the way. But they have no concept of personal boundaries. And generally, they're pretty hostile. Right? We think of zombies, this is what we're thinking of. And there's a large variety of zombies. We're going to lump them into 3 groups, because, well, I'm lazy, and this kind of works for most things. The first group are undead zombies. I apologize if you see a few bullet points here, but I guarantee there's not many in this talk, because again, I'm lazy and to read. So, this is the original zombie. It's now considered uncool and obsolete. Right? These are slow, grunting, like Night of the Dead, you just run around them because they're stupid. They want brains. Then we have the more popular infected zombies. These are by far the most popular now, as we've seen 20 days later, that kind of stuff. They're fast, they're vicious. They don't intentionally work in groups, but they can. And they're difficult to defeat more than 1 or 2. Then we have what I love to call fucktard zombies. Now, fucktard zombies are these mutated, crazy, random nonsense half-splitting, dog, fucktard, moron stuff. But these are semi-popular, you've seen in some movies. These are smart, they're vicious, they will work together, right? So, how would we actually create some of these zombies? I'm glad you asked. The original, right? Religion. Religion is how we created zombies from the beginning. Voodoo, obviously, is the first one. And it's this long thing I'm not going to read, right? You take this shit and you imprison their soul in something. But there's actually some examples of zombies in Haiti. You drink my booze, this is DerbyCon girl. Well, there's two cases where people were zombified basically to make them be free labor, which is actually a very good concept. Kind of like union labor, right? Mindless people just do you tell them. This produces genetic zombies, right? Christianity has a few examples of creating zombies, which I apologize in advance if this offends you, but I really don't apologize, because fuck you. Oops, went ahead. So the book of Matthew, right, talks about opening tombs and raising saints from the dead. And for our purposes, right, those are considered zombies, because they were dead, they brought back alive, after being dead for several days. The book of Revelation talks about the dead returning to life. Again, this seems to suggest everybody that's dead will turn into a zombie. And of course, my favorite example, right, is Jesus himself. Jesus is, for our definition, a zombie, right? He was supposedly dead for a while, and he came back alive, right? And then went crazy trying to kill people with his crucifix, right? He's a zombie, at least in some form. So radiation is another popular cause, right? Either from nuclear weapons or from space shit. Very technical term there, shit. Right? It's popular. Venus, like the probe from Venus crashed Earth, which made the living dead rise in the cemetery, and it's one of the original movies about zombies. But the radiation actually caused complication? Maybe, right? This ionizing radiation has the power to alter human genetics at a genetic level. Right? It causes you to destroy cells and mutate them. Well, which sounds promising. Right? Sudden exposure to large dose of radiation has actually occurred in two places. Right? Chernobyl, like radiation blew up, spread over a large area. And of course Japan, where we decided to drop bombs on people and bury them alive. And as a result, radiation poisoned thousands of people. But there were a lot of symptoms, but unfortunately, none of them caused zombies, which made me cry when I thought of this. But it is possible, right? There are presently unknown types of radiation that could create zombies and bodies. But unfortunately, it's unlikely that we know of, right? Not from a bomb leak, not from a radiation in Japan garbage. But it worked, right? It created the undead, slow-moving zombie, or the multiple. The fuck are zombie? I hate not seeing this screen. So about a viral pandemic. These are by far the most popular way to make zombies. There's this. I'm gonna butcher this shit, I apologize in advance. And last time I talked about this, somebody actually had this, it freaked me the fuck out. This Creutzfeldt-Jakob degenerative brain disorder. Right? This actually happened in the UK in the 90s, outbreak, after eating diseased cows, mad cow babies. Which it creates all these crazy things, right? Blurred vision, like changes the way they walk, makes them have seizures and not talk right. We're really missing aggression and the urge to eat people. Which produces serotonin, which is the nice hormone that keeps you happy, right? Keeps you resolved and relieves depression. So some sick bastards bred some lab mice without receptors for serotonin, and they became extremely vicious. To the point where they classified it as a rat cage death match, where they put two of these together and just butchered each other. So basically, if you take your mad cow disease with the same ability as the rats, now we have aggression and we have all the other shit, and boom, now we have zombies, right? Easy way to make it. But rabies is the best candidate. Transmitted through a bite, right? Typical zombie action, you bite somebody. It's transmitted through It changes the effect of those infected, right? People go crazy. There's no cure for rabies. Right? You get shot ahead of time, but if you got, you're kind of fucked. And it moves to the central nervous system. which initially presents these flu-like symptoms. It's followed by acute behavioral change and disorientation. Right? You really don't know what's going on, what you're doing. You might decide to eat your guy's face.
I don't know why there's not a check mark at the bottom of the horrible debt.
I don't know, you eat those shit, man. And extreme aggression. It causes aggression. Which would obviously create the effect of the fuck card, not the slow moving one, because we're not impacting those that run, right? We're just making you crazy, looking big faces. So there's some new methods. Stem cell research is a great candidate. There's this technique called neurogenesis, which is where they regrow dead brain tissues from stem cells. They're able to keep the body in a state of some animation, so we brought back to life. That's been around for some time. This is the University of Pittsburgh. They took some dogs and actually killed them and brought them back to life in 3 hours. Unfortunately, when they brought them back alive, this reanimation process caused some problems that you can probably imagine. When you die, your brain starts dying from the outside in. And the outside is the nice part of you that makes you not an asshole like me. But it leaves the center, which is where your basic motor functions and primitive instincts live. Right? You don't need the cortex to survive. All you need is the stem, which is where these basic instincts are. And you still be able to mindlessly walk around and eat. It's not like a zombie. I just saw chickens stay alive because their heads up, they run around, right? The stem's still there. So you take a brain dead patient and use these techniques to regrow their brain stem. And now you have this mindless body shambling around, no thoughts, no personality, and nothing but a cloud of basic instincts and a tendency toward aggression. That's what you did. So there's some examples of this kind of stuff. So in 2005, some Russian scientists withdrew the brains of some comatose head patients until they woke up and walked around again. And their published findings had a death rate of about 45%. So it's not a great candidate for massive zombie outbreaks, but then the Germans, of course, being the Germans, one up everybody. They have a society dedicated to reanimation research. And this is what they do. It's crazy. Well, it doesn't only produce the normal undead, slow-moving zombie because they're mindless. Parasites. There are parasites that turn victims into mindless zombie-like slaves. They're very common in nature. My favorite are zombies. The bronze. At Washington State University, they're currently researching these. They become infected with this parasite and it makes them fly at night instead of the day and they jerk around all crazy until they die. There's a small female wave when the honeybee that injects its egg into its stomach and then it basically eats the bee from the inside out. Maybe have breakfast yet? Oh, man. I see it. This was discovered in 2008. Right, but see, the zombie outbreak had already begun. This is actual science. Zombie ants. There's a fungus, some aqua, I don't know, but it targets carpenter ants in Brazil and Thailand, and it hijacks their nervous systems, causing it to form abnormal object behavior that helps the fungus grow. Right, it walks around aimlessly, suffers convulsions. The fungus directs an actual ant to clamp down on a leaf. And then it causes the muscles in his mouth to quit working, so it can't let go. It creates this lockjaw. So even after death, the ant's still stuck in this leaf, which gives it a stable place for the fungus to grow. And then the fungus releases poison to kill it. We all get poisoned. And a few days later, the fungus grows out the top of its head and releases spores, which then get new ants walking by. Toxoplasma or T. gondii. This is extremely popular. It's a microscopic protozoa. It's found all over the world. It's primarily a cat parasite. It has living hosts like animals, livestock, rodents. They can live in your body but can't reproduce. It suggests about 30% of you have this, but there's a lack of symptoms of low detection rate. But it's found in the feces of cats, and it only reproduces inside their intestines, which, once infected, the cats, like mind manipulates and behavior, do things that are normally seen as insane, right? Makes these cats go fucking nuts. And rodents are typically timid creatures. They're averse to cats, they're natural predators. And healthy rats will actually avoid areas that have been doused in cat urine, like go smell and go away from it. Right, when scientists test anti-anxiety drugs on rats, they use a whiff of cat urine to induce their neurochemical panic, so they can go crazy to see if the anti-anxiety drug works. However, if rats are infected with T-gon, we'll have to seek out cat urine, right, again and again to try to get eaten by cats. So that's the only place the T-gon can be reduced. Right, which makes these mice far more vulnerable to attacks from cats. And this parasite can alter rat behavior, right, to have any effect on us. Yes, toxoplasmosis, right, causes the same brain damage as schizophrenia. Right, pregnant women with high levels of this are more likely to give birth to children with schizophrenia, which is why pregnant women are supposed to change cat names, right, because this is garbage, because you can make your kids all fucked up. Absolutely. And the parasite will actually stop growing if you give people antipsychotics. It'll actually prevent it from growing. And we're not that different than rats, that's why we test shit on rats, so we don't test it on you. I mean, not like it. So a more evolved version of toxoplasmosis, and it can do to us what it does to rats, right? Now you have these suicidal, schizophrenic people running around like beating the shit out of each other and eating their faces. Which is crazy, it produces even those types of zombies. Now here's a little bit of tech in this entire topic. Nanotechnology. These microscopic, self-replicating devices that build or destroy cells. And the application of this nanotechnology, right, treats illnesses, repairs injuries, enhance human functioning, and the activity for zombies, right? Nanometabots repair tissue damaged by injury or disease and destroy cancer. They able to set new neural connection in place damage them, so they actually can alter your brain, meaning that they can use your brain to keep operating your limbs after you're deceased. Right? Nanobots can still move you around like a puppet. But the idea is to allow them into your system to prevent disease and detect cancer. I'm not sure I like that. Right? They've already created a nanocyborg. Scientists have. They took a silicone chip and patched to a virus, and they kept active after a month after the virus was dead. Which is crazy. Who controls the nanobots, right? Even if you trust the industrial complex to give you safe nanobots, right? The government would never really bad to it. Right? It's not any way in this room that they can with technology we're supposed to. We have the best solution. Which you create these types of zombies. Right, neurotoxins. Tetrodotoxins are poison that slowly, your body comes to the point where you're considered dead. Right, you have uncontrolled muscles, your weakness, unable to speak coherently, leave you in a trance-like state. But you still perform simple tasks like eating, moaning, stumbling around. Right, then there's gypsum, which grows all over the world. It produces a neurotoxin that people abuse. And it causes speaking difficulties, photophobia, hallucinations, confusion, agitation, and extremely aggressive behavior. Generally, these last about 48 hours. After the doses stop. So the food supply containing these chemicals could easily turn a large population into incoherent walking rageaholics. I'd call them zombies. So don't get Chris Roberts involved. And they have militarized viruses. All the same terrible things as a viral infection, but designed to be highly infectious. Which people have been using since 1500 BC, or when we used to throw a plague victim over the wall of castles so they could infect everybody. In the 1970s, Ebola began to make headlines and spread through Africa, right? The Sudan killed hundreds of people, and many medical professions actually went down there to try to treat and prevent outbreaks. Except this team of Soviet scientists, they actually now turned into a weapon. And while it normally spreads through physical contact and bodily secretions, by the early 90s, the researchers had developed a strain that spread through the air under laboratory conditions. So the possibility of a weaponized aerosol form of the virus is now possible. It doesn't take a huge leap in thought to see how research like this could begin the zombie apocalypse. Because they've never thought about a crazy man-made virus coming nuts and making zombies. Alright, so zombies are now on the rise. We're talking about how we can make zombies. Right, here's some actual cases. This guy in Oregon has a confirmed case of the black plague he got from an outdoor cat. The cat is now dead. He's in critical condition. And last May in Miami, this 31-year-old man, homeless man, hobo, attacked some other homeless man, devoured his nose, gouged his eyes out. The attacker was totally nude. Right? When the police arrived, the guy was growling at them with a piece of the hobo's skin hanging from his mouth. Right? And then, of course, they killed him, took several shots, but the guy was so enraged. Kind of nuts. So when that spread, right, the dead have risen. You smell the smoke, you hear the sirens, right, shots going crazy. And unfortunately, you're unable or willing to properly prepare, because you guys didn't see this talk. So when infrastructure breaks down, right, you know how to survive without being able to call 911. And in addition to all, right, most people at homes provide adequate shelter. There's no need to run through the mountains during the early stages. In fact, it's how it serves. At the beginning, when the zombie outbreak appears, what happens? Everybody runs, right? They try to escape the cities. And roads become these massive graveyards, both the living and the undead. So I propose, right, you stay put, you prepare to fight. Secure the house against the undead. Similar to straight from the living. With a few changes. Right? Unattractive target, we pass up for a more favorable one. You're all welcome. Lock the doors. Lock the windows. Jesus. Alright, board up the windows and doors, right? It may stop a small group of zombies, and at least it'll alert you when people are trying to steal your shit. We're going to talk about in depth. Right, fences, even short ones, are good for protecting you small groups, or at least delaying. If you have a second floor of your home, you start stockpiling the supplies, the things you actually want. If you didn't stock supplies, grab what you can. Be creative. Fill the bathtub with water before water shortages stop, right? Start stockpiling stuff. Clean your bathtub ahead of time. Demolish the stairs. Zombies, except for fucktard zombies, right, can't climb up walls, so just cut the stairs out and go upstairs. Right, marauders, we slow down before you can defend yourself. And bring your ladder so you can get back down. Supply gathering, right? Use the ladder, climb down, get your shit, pull the ladder back up. Don't leave the ladder, some dumbasses climb that too. Keep the lights off, right? Make your home look abandoned, look like my house. Right? Make it unappealing for both zombies and marauders. They don't think anything's there, you're not going to go there. Right? I know what you're saying though, right? But I have a one-story house. It's okay, borrow the neighbors. It's okay. Is it there or not? Right? Stay away from high-density areas that people go to during emergencies. Right? You don't want to go there too. Like hospitals. Real. Just sad. There you go, good guy. Right? Keep with the wife of the newly murdered corpses are always about hospitals. Makes it a little breeding ground for zombies, where you don't want to be. Right? Police stations should be avoided because of people, not because of zombies. Zombies are going to seek out police stations. But if you imagine a packed, riding crowd of frightened people to major control, right, trying to force way into a building they think represents safety. Right? You don't have to be bitten by zombies to be beaten or stabbed or trampled, right, at Walmart or Black Friday. Churches, like many urban Americans, will run screaming to your God, which is your call, right, the first sign of the apocalypse. Well, these are going to be crammed with people, right? Most people die alone or die in church. They're going to be loud. Certainly to attract attention. So if you're smart, you hunker down. You say, hey, how many people should I team up with? Right? I want to live. Well, every team has members that consume resources. So every member has to show some kind of positive ROI. Yes, I use ROI as a but they have to be removed, right? They have no value. Get the fuck out of there. Which is a careful balancing act. Don't laugh at my mother. Right, 4 to 10 people is a manual for mutual protection. Right? You can disperse duties such as guard duty, hand-to-hand fighting, cooking and cleaning, and more than 10, and you'll have people burning resources up quite a much value. Right? More than 10, you want to say to everybody, you just can't, right? They got to go on their own. If not, it's your fault. So how do you defend yourself? Right? Being able to protect yourself with weapons is essential. Use firearms. Seriously, use firearms. Even if you don't know what guns do, right? Help them out, right? lots of firearms. Right? It may not be needed to use guns, right? But it's highly effective. Assault rifles are my choice. Right? If I'm stockpiling, I'm stockpiling, I use assault rifles. They allow one person. They fight off an entire army of zombies or looters. Looters are just as dangerous. We all watch Walking Dead, right? I mean, people are more dangerous than zombies. At multiple ranges. And firearm distance is preferred, right, for both maintaining concealment and allowing for escape. And shotguns are a great secondary weapon. These are not your primary choice. Right? They're great for close combat or one-on-many combat, right? The use of spray the area make these ideal for the untrained. You can hand this to anybody and say, point that direction and pull this thing. And you hope you're not in front of it, but right? Pistols should only be used for close quarter or near last resort. If you have nothing else, use a pistol. Besides what you see in movies and TV, hitting a moving target in the head with a pistol is extremely difficult at any range. Right? It's not that easy. You're just going to waste your life. It's better to try to bludgeon them to death with a pistol. The hunting rifle. A lot of you have hunting rifles you hunt, right? Especially down here in hillbilly land. So it's good. It's a good choice for trained individuals only. For the novice, the bolt action rifle is useless if not utterly dangerous. And they won't hit anything far away to be useful besides drawing attention to your horrible marksman. Right? If you really have the research, you don't want to fire because you're soft, you give them a rifle. They'll go shoot somebody, and they'll die, no good. What about explosives? What could be better than throwing a hand grenade at a mass of approaching zombies? Anything. Anything's better than throwing grenades. Anti-personnel explosives kill mostly by shrapnel that tears through vital organs. This doesn't affect zombies. The chance of having shrapnel penetrate the skull is slim. Right, so grenades, bombs, explosives are totally inefficient. And having morons use these things is also can be dangerous to yourself and others. Right, so the ideal weapon's a gun, but you could run out of bullets, so, or maybe you want to do hand-to-hand for stealth and conservation, right? So there's some questions to ask about handle weapons, right? Can it crush the skull and blow? If not, can it decapitate instead of blow? Is it easy to handle? Is it light? Is it durable? Right? So let's talk about bludgeons. When using a blunt weapon, the goal is to crush the brain. Axe handle, blow clubs are good for beating off individual attacks. They don't have the weight or strength for a lethal strike. The sledgehammer is heavy and slow, and like me, I'll swing it once or twice and I'll be out of breath and I'll be eaten. Aluminum bats are light, but they're only good for a couple attacks. Like, aluminum bats actually will bend if you have to hit hard things with them. Personal experience, like, go fucking bend. Right? Carpenter's hammer. It's good for a last resort, but unfortunately you're in the range of zombies, so you don't really want to use this unless you're like a total moron. The police baton. This is strong, but it's really not meant for lethal attacks unless you're an old lady. Right? Only a hill a whole lot. I think that's the way down. So the best blade, of course, is the steel crowbar, right? It's lightweight, it's durable, makes it good for long use. It's curved, slightly sharpened edge, good for stabbing through the eye socket, getting rid of the brain. Edge weapons. The civilian axe is good, right? Smashes the bone and brain in one swing. Right? Decapitation is equally easy, right? That's why the axe has been the favorite tool of executioners for centuries. Connecting it with that moving head is difficult. It swings and a total miss, you might be taken off balance. Hatchets are good as last resort, right? 27 corner, they'll take care of an attack. Of course, the common machete is the best. Make the curved edge, make the point stab, make the blood handle. Really, anything else is a sharp object, right? Just if it's sharp, you can take it on an eye, you'll be okay. Just be creative. Whatever you got, at the end of the day, as long as you don't die, you win. Bows and slings are difficult to use. I recommend avoiding these for the same reason as a hunting rifle. Because you're going to have to stab somebody that you didn't intend to. Chainsaws are very popular in movies, but really they're loud, run out of gas, they're heavy. They do make an awesome fashion statement. So you decide to lock down and wait out the outbreak, right? You're not going to go and kill anything, you're just going to hide. Right? Aim for your prepper retard. It's harder, right? rest of the shit, see on TV. How do you resupply? Eventually you're gonna run out of stuff. So supermarkets in heavily hit areas still may have supplies. Of course, they're in heavily hit areas, which is why they still have supplies. So, in the meantime, until the outbreak settles to adult chaos, I propose immediate raids upon your neighbors. You want to take what's available before they have a chance to consume themselves. Man, Derby. I recommend this prior to moving to any stable supplies you have. Right? I'd rather steal their carrots for open my can of beans than take their stuff that's going to go bad. He made us take a little resistance. And he may obtain additional weaponry. Anything to use as a weapon. And am I endorsing looting? Yes, I am indeed endorsing looting. Am I endorsing murder? Well, what you choose to do when people resist is up to you. What's important, these raids be limited quick hit fashion, right? So you avoid being caught up in the outbreak yourself. Right? Run to grab some beans and you get bitten and all hell breaks loose. Not worth it. It's one thing to stabilize, right? Safe enough to return to those markets. Talked about earlier. Have transportation. I see stupid ass movies where they walk down the market. There's cars everywhere. It's usually they're fast. It's okay that they're loud. So how do you prep to live with the undead? Right? They're going to be around a while. So you can map it out right. How many zombies are too many? 3,000. The answer's 3,000. Let's watch some more killing. So stockpile weapons and ammo. Familiarize yourself with multiple firearms. You never know what's going to be available. You never know what you'll be able to rob. I mean scavenge for supplies. So the apocalypse can come at any moment. So be armed. Self-defense training, mostly useless. Because most self-defense training doesn't teach you to use weapons, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, pepper spray and a zombie will get you turned into a fucking zombie. So don't do it. Trying to do a ninjutsu bullshit MMA move on a zombie's gonna get you turned into a fucking zombie, so don't do it. They don't give a fuck on an arm bar. Kick them in the groin, they're gonna do a lot. You should always use weapons. No matter who you are, or what you got, you get nothing else from this talk is one, I'm kind of fucked up. 2, use weapons, and 3, curb count. Shameless. Right? Do recon. When the poo hits the fan, right, know where the good resources are. Don't wait until there's a zombie outbreak to know what your neighbor's got stockpiled in the basement. Go there for coffee. Have dinner with them. Check it out. Don't live near me.
Don't invite you over.
What? I come over for dinner? What's up? So I also prefer to scavenge, from places with the least resistance. Right? Know who in the area are prime targets that help you out. And good stuff that you can borrow permanently. Right? Plan to defend against your potential adversary. People want your food who plan against you, right? Like we're doing here. You can plot that they can go burn your house down and watch you leave and stuff. Or just sneak in and murder you or whatever. The zombies aren't that smart, right? They just want your flesh. Those overwhelm you. And different tactics are required for both types of sieges. It's my defensive weapon. So plan your defenses ahead of time. I took this from my daughter down in her games. I'm teaching her at a young age. Stockpile supplies, things that you find that are important to you. If life's not worth living without these things, stockpile them. But
Now.
Right, I'm not a big believer in excessive supplies. Right? You only need enough to get you through the initial outbreak. I'd rather spend my resources building up my capability to respond to the situation than be stuck with thousands of dollars of food and water that goes bad. I know you guys see the shows where they have like 9 big ass drums of water under their bed, and the water doesn't go bad, right? You just let it sit. Right? If I have to ditch if I decide to take off. Like, it's all wasted. You should learn some food preparation. People get hungry. And you need to be able to feed them or yourself without making them sick or dead. I'm sure they'd appreciate that, right? No paramedics, no problem. I'll learn some basic first aid. Or at least have materials for reference. Go out to the Army Supply Store, right? Get the fuel manual from the Army. Right? Operations security is critical to survival. Right? Offset. Which means don't be on fucking TV telling people where you hide all your shit. Say, hey, I did hold it, put all my silver in there. Don't tell anybody. Right? It doesn't really work. Right? Show them where you stockpile your food isn't that fucking ninja when you tell me on TV where you hide your food. So I guess I'm gonna go to her door with a car and take her food away. Alright? Or if you live near me, it's all this talk. Right? My home office. You know I'm an a-hole, right? I'm a thief. I'm gonna steal your shit. Even if it sucks, I'm still gonna steal it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's going home with me. Right? And I'm probably gonna kill you. Sorry. But thanks a lot. That's all I got. You can follow me on Twitter if you want to be rants and rant shit. Get the fuck out.